networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. It is absolutely beautiful out today, and it's a great day to be networking. I always tell people to talk to everyone within 3 feet of you, and that's exactly what we're doing here on the air. I made it possible for people to talk about themselves on the radio. You want to get yourself connected with me to do that, all you have to do is give us a call at the station at 602-277-5369, and toll-free it's 1-866-536-1100. My first guest has been on the show with me a couple times now. This is his third time coming on. I have Barry Lewin. Barry, you are an attorney, but you're sort of special today. You want to talk about something very important and very interesting. Welcome back to the show, and tell everybody a little bit about you and your practice.
My practice is primarily, I represent plaintiffs almost entirely in personal injury and medical malpractice cases. And what we're going to talk about today, I guess, is special education. And by that, what I'm talking about is programs that are available to students that have learning disabilities and issues that require accommodation so that they can learn as well as anybody else at their level.
Well, I'm going to come out with it, right out with it, because before you came on the air, you said to me, Carol, I got a call just before I came on today about this, and it seems to be the seasonal, you said, that there are some times where people seem to want it more than others.
Well, yeah, and it does seem to be seasonal, and it would probably be better if it wasn't so overwhelmingly at the end of the year, which I guess is, I would probably put it off, too, if it was me, the parent.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what it is that you actually mean. What exactly is it, and then I want to know who's eligible.
Okay, well, first of all, you have to be eligible, you have to have there are actually a list of 13 specific learning disabilities, and if you're a student between the ages of like 3 and 22, and you're in high school or earlier, you're eligible. And it's really a wonderful program. It's one of the things that the government has done that it'd be hard to argue about. It basically is based on the idea that every student has value. Every student should be able to learn to their fullest potential. And if they're not learning, there's something maybe not wrong, but the school is responsible for teaching to the student. When I was a kid, the student who didn't learn was at fault.
Right.
And this kind of recognizes it's a shared responsibility.
Wow, that is very important.
Yeah.
But interesting, how does that, a lot of people have learning disabilities.
Yeah, they do. And that's why it's so important. I mean, this basically says if you have one of these 13 learning disabilities, we're going to give you an individualized education plan. There's an abbreviation for it like everything else. It's called an IEP. And your parents are on a team with a bunch of people from the school, and they come up with a plan for you, tailored to you, so that you can learn to the best of your ability.
Now, you do a consultation. They are free, but they're really just about finding out, do you have a case?
Well, that's right. The initial call, usually what we try to figure out is are you basically do you have a child with one of the 13 designated disabilities, and if so, is there something legally that we can do to help you?
Now, your phone number to call you direct, it's 602-325-1141. Your website is blewin, Lewin, at Barry, Barry, Lewin.com. The times you've been on before, I mean, obviously malpractice, this is sort of goes under that.
Well, it's medical in nature. A lot of the lawyers that do this sort of work got into it because they had children with special education issues and they needed to be there for their own kids. And I've come at it more in a different direction through the medical stuff, because if you have a learning disability, one of those 13 listed disabilities, you have to prove that. And generally the way you prove that is with neuropsych testing or testing of one kind or another, and it really is basically medicine applied to children.
So that you have one of these 13 different things. You're suing the school.
Well, no, it's not really a lawsuit.
What is it? What is it?
Initially, it's like you work together cooperatively. They call it an IEP team. And the people on the team are a parent and a bunch of folks from the school that have knowledge in the area of special education. There are teachers that get special training. There are administrators that have special training in the area, and they're regular classroom teachers. And they all get together frequently, and they come up with a plan with goals for each student. And it's tailored to that individual student. So it's really not at all a lawsuit at that point. And in fact, there's a lot of things you would do before you file the lawsuit, even if you were unhappy with everything the school was doing, which hopefully you wouldn't be.
Right. Now, I'm trying to understand. So let's say somebody does have to call you.
Okay.
Give us a reason, one of the biggest reasons why, how you can take how you can represent them.
Okay. Well, for example, if the school promises they're going to have your child in a class setting with 3 kids and it just doesn't happen, and you think there's more individualized attention necessary, that would be something you might call about.
Okay.
Or if they promise some kind of adaptive learning device, whether they're hearing aids maybe or something of that nature, and they don't provide them afterwards, that would be something to call about.
Something juicy. What's something like what they would call about that would be something maybe would be different?
Where kids are getting made fun of by their classmates because they have disabilities and they're not able to go to school very comfortably and enjoy being there.
So that's a very good point that you bring up, because a lot of kids get bullied today, and especially if they are special needs or if they have a learning disability, maybe they're not totally right?
Right. They're easier targets, and it probably hurts maybe a little bit deeper if, in fact, they're already overly sensitive to their conditions.
Sure. Yeah. So let's say that's the case, because the school, what I'm hearing from you is that the school is in partly responsible.
Yeah. That's exactly right. They are partly responsible.
Wow. So we have our lines open here. We're going to want everybody who would like to get connected with Barry. You can call here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-11. He has some information on this that he can get to you. We're going to make that up so that you all can have that. But right now, really, it's all about if you're having an issue, if you're dealing with something, you can either call him direct at 602-325-1141 or call us here at 602-277-5369. And I say that because a lot of people that are listening to this, you're just perking up their ears. Not everybody, does everybody know about this who has a child that might have a learning disability?
I would hope so, but I don't know if they do or they don't. And to the extent they don't, hopefully they do now.
Yeah, and that's what I think is great, being able to come on the show to be able to talk a little bit, especially something as different as this.
In fact, one of the things that troubles me is that there are a lot of people who have kids with issues who don't approach the school at all because perhaps they don't have the proper paperwork to be in the country.
I was just going to ask you that. What is that? How does that work? Because a lot of kids aren't.
Well, those people are concerned that they'll get deported if they complain. I mean, to put it real bluntly. And I think people have tried to reassure them that wouldn't happen. And certainly I can't guarantee anything, but I don't know of that happening. But all the assurances in the world aren't going to help if people are afraid.
Yeah, and on the only way you're going to know, and this is with almost any kind of case like this, is you got to ask.
Well, that's right, and you have to ask, and you have to ask somebody whose opinion you'd trust.
How long have you been doing these things?
Several years. I wouldn't know exactly, but I mean, I've been a lawyer for 37 years.
Right, and you've done malpractice, a lot of different. You've been on here talking about the sides of the coin, but this is today you wanted to talk about this.
Right.
And again, we're going to let you get a call in here. You want to get connected. Our number here is 602-277-5369. You can also call him direct. Write this number down. It's really important information. If you have a child with any kind of a learning disability, the number to call him is 602-325-1141. Hang on tight. We're going to be back in just a minute. At creditrepair.com, they know things like divorce, medical bills, job loss, military duty, and identity theft can cause credit to be damaged. Unlike companies that just give you a free score or monitor your credit, they can actually help you fix it. Past creditrepair.com members on average have seen significant improvement in their credit scores month after month. The consultation is free, so call 800-643-9908. That's 800-643-9908.
MasterCare Home Care and Healthcare hires for heart and trains for success. MasterCare is looking for individuals who strive to make a difference in someone's life, providing care in a client's home or facility. We provide all training on-site in our state-of-the-art skills lab. At MasterCare, client safety is our main priority. All employees must provide a fingerprint clearance card, pass a national background check, and a 10-panel drug screen. Visit gomastercare.com or call 623-242-1120. 623-242-1120.
Did you know the government has been making preparations to seize your retirement and bank accounts? Hi, David Fisher, CEO of Landmark Capital Gold Group. Get the facts, my new white paper titled, How to Protect Your Retirement and Bank Accounts from Government Seizure. I'll show you how to transfer your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver and take physical possession. Call us today, 602-287-9200. That's 602-287-9200 or landmarkgold.com.
Have you been injured? Has someone in your family been killed as a result of someone else's negligence? Hi, I'm Barry Lewin. For over 35 years, I've been helping people with serious injuries. To find out if you have a viable case, call me for a free consultation at 602-325-1141. That's 602-325-1141. For more information, visit my website, barrylewinlaw.com.
If you're 25 to 35 and you think you cannot move towards financial independence with the current resources you have, you're wrong. The American dream is alive and well. All you need is coaching. Call me today for a no-obligation financial needs analysis and gain the information and education you need. Lloyd Rhine, your financial services coach, 602-284-7617. That's 602-284-7617.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. Call Ted Watkins, enrolled agent before IRS, the tax expert who will handle your case. We negotiate settlements with the IRS, the Arizona Department,
about 10 seconds,
as well as prepare past due tax returns. Call us at 602-363-1952 or 602-418-308.
If I traded it
Welcome back. And we're talking with Barry Lewin. He is a malpractice attorney is what we would call it. But today we're sort of talking about something, it's malpractice, but it's very different.
Yeah, and it isn't really it isn't negligence exactly. It's more about providing services to kids that need services and doing it in a way that gets them the best education they can have.
So we want you to give him a call. Now, this is something that you're just hearing about. You might not even realize that you might be able to do something like this. Everybody's case is different, and it is all about finding out whether or not you even have a case at all. The number to call him direct at 602-325-1141. If you know someone that might be dealing with a child that has some sort of a learning disability, maybe they are getting bullied, and yeah, it is part of the school's responsibility. So there are reasons why you might want to pick up the phone and call them if you're having some kind of an issue like this. Or you can call here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. We want to get you connected with him to learn for more, get more information about this and see if you are eligible or your son or daughter is eligible. So there's a Section 504. What is that?
It's actually a different federal law, and what it says essentially is that you cannot be discriminated against on the basis of any disability you have. So let's say you have a learning issue or some other problem. Maybe it's a physical health issue, or maybe you have ADHD and you're a kid and that's not one of the 13 listed disabilities. You can get accommodations through the school under this Section 504. So basically what it does is it allows for you to get your child treated in a way that accommodates their disability so that they can learn, even if it's not on the list of learning disabilities. It's a much broader category of disabilities.
So, but what are, well, I don't want to go into all of them. There's 13 that are the ones that they are eligible for, right?
Yeah, there are 13 of them. I mean, they're not the sorts of things you would know about unless maybe your child had been to a neuropsychologist or something. But I mean, if I talked about nonverbal learning disabilities, things of that nature, that's probably not going to mean much to somebody. But basically, it's all the general learning disabilities that there are that apply in a school setting. And then Section 504 really catches all the other kinds of disabilities, whether they're physical. I mean, for example, some kids have brittle bones. If they get knocked down on the playground, they don't get back up. They have a broken bone because their bones are fragile. This says they have to have a way to be able to go to school, too, and to accommodate that sort of thing.
So the people that are listening, they might hear something like this, then they might call the school to find out whether or not they are covering that, and then if not, then they would call you.
Yeah, that would work. It's always best to talk to the school. I mean, the schools are really full of well-intended people that are trying to help students. And one of the things that I talk about to some extent is not becoming the parent from hell. And, you know, what that means is if you're complaining all the time and you're never satisfied with what the school does for your kid, it doesn't help your kid. You know, people that complain a lot don't get a lot of help. That they get the bare minimum that can be done within the law. And by the time people come to me frequently, they're at their wits' end. And they've already gotten to the point with the school where they can't talk to anybody without losing their temper, and they don't believe anything they're told. And at that point, nothing's getting done for their child that's helpful at all. And, you know, I understand that. It's hard to...
And before you came on, another thing that you said about it's your child. You want to make sure that they are being taken care of the way they're supposed to be.
Well, that's right. And, you know, you think about the mother polar bear and the cub, and that's kind of the role of the parent.
Believe me, I know. I'm a parent.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if your child is, has any kind of disability. You feel the same no matter what, right?
Right. And it's important, though, to keep in mind that the school's got 5 kids like yours, and they have only limited resources, and they have to spread them out fairly among 5 people, and you don't have to worry about the other 4 kids. You know, it's just your kid.
Right. And they might even have more than that, because I'm sure a lot of them have. There's a lot of different disabilities today, you know, learning disabilities especially.
Yeah.
His phone number direct, it is 602-325-1141. You can check him out at Lewin, Lewin, at Barry, Barry, Lewin.com. But we also have our lines open here. We want you to get the information on this. We're going to help you out on it. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. We also talked a little bit at the break. Oh, okay. Let me see. What is it? BarryLewinLaw.com? Is that a different one that you had? Okay, so now he's got another one that he wants to give out too. It's Barry Lewin, Barry. Lewin is Lewin, law.com, and you can go there and check him out as well. College students, you said to me that there's issues with that there some college students that cheat. Go ahead.
Well, we were talking briefly over the break about, you know, does this extend to college students? And to the extent of the special education law, it doesn't really extend to college students. But what I was talking about was when you sign up to go to college, unless it's a public school, you have very few rights other than what the school grants to you. And when you, for example, go to a for-profit university, a private school, when you sign on to use their website on the very first day, you've checked the box that says, I've read all this stuff and I think it's all fine and dandy. Nobody ever reads it, of course. And among the various things you give up are, you know, rights to control your information on the website, so that if you ever do want to have any sort of issue with the school and you want your information, you may not be able to get it anymore because the school controls your access to everything important on the website, which includes all your information.
Wow. So it's all very, very, go ahead.
It is. It's very it's very one-sided, and you know, we're all very cavalier about checking that box. I mean, I don't read them either.
Right.
But people
now,
should.
I didn't get it. You know, it's funny because when you gave me your website earlier, I didn't even realize it because that's how crazy my mind wasn't even thinking that I was giving out your email. But his website, it is BarryLewinLaw.com. So I wanted to say that out there. That was why I didn't even realize it. I'm saying it and not even realizing it. That's not like me. Okay. But I want to talk a little bit further about how you can help these people. What about, you know, enforcements of plans and things like that, learning disabilities and the accommodations for all of those things?
There's a lot of different levels of confrontation, and I think that it's best if you can get along with the people on the team in the school, that you do it that way. I mean, in a perfect world, no one would ever need to come to a lawyer for an IEP thing. And you kind of have to view it in a long-term perspective. I mean, your child is going to be at the school for a while. These people on this team with you are going to be there for a while too, and you need to treat them civilly and with respect in the way you would want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't go into it assuming that they're not going to do what they say they're going to do and that sort of thing.
No, but here's the issue. The issue is that they go in thinking that they are going to get everything that they've been told.
Yeah.
And that if they don't, that's what we're talking about here.
Right.
That
and
if you don't.
If you don't, then by all means contact me or another special education lawyer and find out how the best way is to go about getting it. You know, there's a point at which you're just not able emotionally to deal with it anymore. And you may not recognize it as soon as an outsider. But,
well, though I think if your child is getting, bullied, because they do. Today, that's a huge subject. And it could be they get even bullied by the teachers, too. And that's even worse.
Yeah, it is worse when that happens. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But again, I would give the school the benefit of the doubt before thinking that, you know, they're badly motivated or they're out to do something terrible to your child. Right. Because they're not.
No. But there are reasons to call you.
Absolutely, there are. And I'm just saying, you know, give me a chance to look into the situation before deciding what it is that has happened when you don't fully know.
So how do they do that? They just call you and kind of talk to you a little bit about it?
Yeah, and let me look into it for them. Because at the point where you're calling a lawyer, you're already unhappy and combative. And you're not in a position necessarily to get candid answers from anybody because things have already broken down or you wouldn't be calling me in the first place.
Right. Now, let me give out your phone number. It is 602-325-1141. And if you want some information on this, we're going to let you call throughout the rest of the show. If it's you or someone that you know, our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll-free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We only have a couple minutes before you go today. What are your final words today, Barry?
I think that special education is one of the greatest things that the government has gotten done in the last long time. And I would encourage everyone out there that has a student who maybe has learning disabilities to take advantage of it.
The number to call him for any type of consultation, it's free. It's 602-325-1141. The website is BarryLewinLaw.com.
Talk 1100 KFNX. Currently ranked in the top 10 by Ranking Arizona. Listen to us worldwide at 1100KFNX.com.
Severe storms packing tornadoes, high winds, and large hail are roaring through parts of the nation's midsection. Meteorologist Chad Meyer says twisters could strike tonight, too.
Those that are on the ground after dark are always the most dangerous because the lead time is a little bit shorter because they're not seen by the spotters as quickly, and you're probably asleep.
Voters in 5 Northeast states are headed to the ballot box with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump the frontrunners. CNN political director David Chalian says exit polls are being conducted.
In Connecticut today, Democrats voting in the Connecticut primary there tell us 67% say this is energizing the party, this ongoing battle between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. 29% say it has divided the party.
The White House was placed on a brief lockdown this afternoon after a suspect scaled a fence at the complex. The jumper, who was reportedly fleeing the scene of a nearby robbery, is in Secret Service custody. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 13 points. I'm Ann Cates.
Arizona News Radio. Democratic leader Steve Farley doesn't think much of a budget compromise between Republican leaders and the governor.
There's millions